Hello, Sri Lanka. How are you today, everybody on the interweb? Are you guys watching me on the TikTok? I've been doing a lot more stuff on TikTok, my YouTubing friends. And if you haven't heard, Georgia Bulldogs won the SEC championship. So if you email me right now, I'll let you into the website for nothing. And JMU is also in the top 12. So right now I'm living the greatest sports day I think I've ever lived since the Yankees won the World Series in 2009. Right? There really hasn't been anything to celebrate since. So I got Georgia Bulldogs beating one of my most, and I hated the Alabama team. I hate everything Alabama my whole life. Football, basketball, baseball. Hate Alabama. And now I'm a huge UGA fan. So the SEC championship, if you know about SEC sports, the SEC championship, in a lot of people's opinions, is more important than the national championship, especially when you get to beat your rival, Alabama, in the way that we did, smashing them in the face from the beginning to the game, right to the last tick, as they sat there in agony as we snapped the ball in their face with 2 minutes left to go, and there was nothing they could do about it. The only thing that would have been better, and again, because sports is all rigged, they let Alabama into the championship game, and I am with Notre Dame. I would not even want to play next year. And if anybody's making fun of Notre Dame for being pissed off, they should be pissed. They should be in the tournament. There should not be Alabama. This was the chance. And as a matter of fact, Miami shouldn't be in it either. Get rid of Alabama. Get rid of Miami. Notre Dame should be in that top 12. But anyway, it doesn't matter to me because JMU's in. That's where my son went. JM freaking U. That guy from Indiana used to be the JMU coach. He made that team so good that even when he left 2 years later, they're still a good team. So my son went there, no expectations of sports. Next thing you know, JMU basketball, they're in the tournament, beating Wisconsin a couple of years, then, of course, getting lit up by Duke, but, we're not going to beat Duke. But it's so much fun to watch the two teams. And my nephew goes to Virginia. Sorry I had to root against him. But, man, my whole family's got sports going on, and we're all Jets fans, so this is something special to actually have something to root for. So, yeah, these next couple of weeks, it's been a special kind of day. We're very, 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 very selective. Some friends, we came in long the queues, sold pre-market, got stopped out. Some friends went short the queues. I am not short the queues, even though it's given us 8 different reasons and 8 different entries to be short the queues. I'm just being a stubborn nudnik about it. But I'm trading WVE. You guys know about this one? It's up 123%. We got in just because it pivoted back above 1350. Massive size on the offer at 14. We bought that, and we saw a huge size at 15, and that's what kept us in the trade. And we got all the way to 17. I'm done with the trade. Some of us are still in it. Some of us are still short the queues. I am what they call flat because I try to lead by example. I do 3 good trades, and normally I quit for the day. So the trades were rigatoni short. Don't have to ask me twice. Faux show bro into a blow-off top rollover. So you went from liking the stock long to blow-off top, rollover, VWAP break. There's the finger of God confirming a reason to short. And we went with RGTZ. If you don't know, RGTZ is a long stock to short RGTI. There's a lot of these leverage versions of every stock now. Go Google it. And instead of shorting rigatoni, if you're shorting is scary to you, it's basically like buying a put without having to buy options. You just trade this stock as it broke $16.60, and everybody got paid here. Everybody getting paid on WVE, not me. I'm done. But still working it. Still, people are still long this trade. Still rocking. And that's it. That's the whole day. Really not much to report. We've been talking about Vegas. We've been talking about SEC sports. We've been talking about shuffleboard. Talking about Fargo. Talking about anything else you don't want to overtrade. Last couple of weeks of December, you're usually kind of boring. You want to stick and move. You want to make your money and then coast. And remember, this casino is a little bit different than most casinos. In this casino, if you're in Vegas, if you do play by some of those Vegas rules, when you're on a hot streak, you do kind of want to push the bet, right? In this casino of gambling, of trading, you don't want to add. You want to stay exactly the same every time. No matter how well you're doing, you don't increase your size. You always stay disciplined. You do what the stock tells you to do every single time. But the one thing that is similar to this casino, this market casino that we work in here, and a regular casino, the longer you stay, the more you pay. Their white lines go a long way, either up your nose or through your veins, nothing to gain. What? Oh, yeah, the longer you stay, inevitably you're going to lose, right? That's the similarity of both casinos. So if you make your money, we have a saying here at the Hit the Bid chat room. Make a day's pay and go away. Now, you could stay because, we're entertaining. We're having fun conversations. We can talk about my lasagna or what you're cooking for Christmas or whatever holiday you celebrate. You just don't want to overtrade. Overtrading, inevitably, what happens is, and by the way, here you go, 1750. Congratulations. It happened without me. So I'm out of the stock, but let's go. Let's talk about WVE. Now you must sell. No matter what you think, right? So when I was buying the stock, I thought we can get 15. 15 gets you 1750. There it is. Does that mean the stock's going to stop going up at 1750? No. It means that you're supposed to sell at 1750 and then raise your stop to prior breakout levels, right? So prior breakout level, what is the prior breakout level? You guessed it, 1705. And earlier when it pivoted and got my ass out, that was where I sold the rest of it because I didn't have enough left. I was selling it up here and here. But inevitably, I'm out of the stock. But now, if you're still in it, you sold some 1750. So 1705, the triple top break is now your stop. And the level where it rolled right there. So 1635. My stop was 1625 earlier, and they got me. If I had enough shares, I would have used this one and stayed in the trade, which some people were. But I got in a little late. I raised my stop. I don't mind selling. The only mistake I made was selling some at $14. And, again, it's a mistake after the fact because it went up another 3 points. But if it would have hit 14 and rolled over and went to 0, then I would have said, oh, good sell. That's trading. You're not going to be perfect ever. If you could be anywhere near perfect, that's even good. But as long as you're managing your trade correctly, you try to stay in the name as long as you possibly can. Right now, how do you stay in this name? 1705 is your out. For me, that would be a hard out because the stock has done everything you wanted it to do. 14 got you 15, 15 got you 1750. Now you're thinking 20, but you don't want to get too greedy. When there is a rug pull, it's going to rug pull right back down to 1575. And if you don't know what a rug pull means, that means when they just drop the bids. They just pull the bid. And they get a big red candle, stops everybody out. It's coming. You don't know when it's going to come. That's why you keep your stops up there. But like I said, take advantage of my generosity right now. I'll throw you in the dungeon. Just email me, kennyglick@AOL.com. Everything's included. You get the schmooze with us if I stick around Thursday night, which I think I am. I got a couple of new bottles of tequila, so schmooze should be a lot of good times this Thursday. Then again, I might not drink because I'm going out hard. Friday and Saturday. But I found a new tequila, friends, G4. And considering there's 4 Glicks, that's a great name for me. G4. Right? You know, it's not cheap. You can try to, you know, anywhere from $50 to $60 a bottle. Smooth. You're not getting ripped off like Clase Azul, at least. But it's not cheap. You guys know about the G4. And if you guys like Reposado, if you haven't tried tequila Reposado, it's a whole different kind of drink. It's not the tequila that you might be used to. That grossness from back in the 90s. Like, what was that one tequila everybody drank? Jose Cuervo. Yeah, that's nasty. But Reposado, it's kind of like it's a smokier version of tequila. Is good. It's real good. I just got this. There you go. This is good. The Blanco is good too. You guys like tequilas? I saw the finger of God on the cues. Yeah, I just chose to ignore it today because I've just been emotionally and physically hurt by shorting the cues. I'm just taking a break. Just taking a break from shorting the cues. That's all it is. I mean, obviously the trade was there. I'm just done for now. Oh, I will come back with a vengeance. Don't worry about it, friends. I came in long. I sold my cues near the highs. I'm just letting that one sit there. I sold it short. But you know what's kind of fun? It's fun just staying very specific. You know, some guys are like, oh, man, you jump around too much. You talk too fast. Some of these trades develop too quickly. No, we've been on one name pretty much the whole morning. And now it's leaving without me, but that's my problem. That ain't your problem. Some of us still own it. And above 1750, you got to think $20. And now it's over yearly highs, right? Here's the yearly high, right? And now this isn't like those classic pump and dumps that we've been trading, the SMXs and the TGLs. By the way, I got to check TGL because that was trying to make a little comeback there. If you guys know about TGL, we had this one around $13 and it went to 88 in the aftermarket. But the reason that this WWV, as awesome as it's been so far, coming out of the Kardashian, you know, you got your Andy Dufresne, the whole thing. That's why I liked it. And I thought easily gets to 1565 because that was the yearly high. Stocks that get to those into the area usually get there, right? We got there. Now you go back on a 2-year chart. And the reason this isn't the same, this was actually a real stock at one point. It didn't do a reverse. Even though it's been awful, it's not awful enough. And I know that might sound counterintuitive, but let me explain. Let me go with just a 10-year chart to bring it to you. There you go. Actually, let me go even more. I think this has been is around for 15 years, this stock. 15 years on a monthly, all right, there it is. So that's the lifetime of the stock, right? This is the lifetime. Hold that thought. I need a cup of coffee. If anybody's still short the cues, I know you should be getting nervous now, right? You know it's not going to last, right? All right, more importantly, now the stock is breaking 2-year highs on this WVE. You're breaking 3-year highs now. So suddenly you went from a yearly high to now you're in this zone. And the only thing in this zone, right, was that 1724 and 1998. So you got to go back to these levels. In between this candle and that candle is the low of this candle. That's 1759. You just breached it. So now you're in this candle and you're in this candle. You could start thinking that you're about to go and say hello to his old friend that he hasn't seen in 5 years up there at 1998. But again, that's easy for the person that bought it at 14. You're sitting pretty. If you just bought it at 15 or 16 or even 17, you got to manage your trade intraday. Even though you think it's going to 20, stock has already tacked on a lot today. So you just raise your stops to those consolidation areas. So let me get my cup of coffee and I'll explain to you why this stock isn't going to go to 500 opposed to those other ones that I said could go to 500. Doesn't mean it can't go to 20, but I'll be right back. Oh, baby. We still got 6 or 7 Hawaiian sweet rolls left. You guys know King's Hawaiian sweet rolls? Baby, I could feel like I'm putting on a couple of pounds. I think I ate the whole box. Yummy. So good. All right, let me get done chewing. See that? You guys were feeling comfortable being short the cues, weren't you? Don't. No matter how low we go, you're one faux show bro away from getting your head bashed in. But right now, that cue short really did work. Obviously, a lot better than I thought it was going to work. All right, you ready? You guys want a lesson? You ready for another lesson with your Uncle Kenny? All right. So you had TGL. Well, let's start with SMX. Right? This is the stock that started at $5. First, look at the 5-year chart. Oh! So somewhere, somebody bought it at $5,601,668,849,000. No. But that's a real price, split adjusted. So when I say dog shit, worthless, garbage are the best stocks, this is one of them. So this is a reverse split. So the idea is that this stock is so bad that it went to zero and they artificially bring it back higher, doing a reverse split. So let's say you own 1,000 shares at 20, it's 20 grand worth of the stock. Stock goes to $1, right? You're down $19,000. So now they want to bring it back to 20 to make you think that you're doing something, that the stock's doing well, or because of some sort of listing restrictions or whatever, right? They do what's called a reverse split. So now that 1,000 shares at 20 that you own, now you have 100 shares back at 20. But they took 900 of your shares away. So you haven't gained anything, but they artificially they make the stock go up artificially. Generally, it's because of some listing regulations, but the real reason is they want to bring it up officially higher so they could short it again. And then the stock goes back to zero. You know, normally I don't take phone calls in the middle of my show, but for you, I do. What's up? No, what's up? Is it you want me on? You want me to go on live with you right now? We could cross the streams. I don't know. Well, what's going on, buddy? Bro, I'm wearing all my Georgia gear and my JMU gear simultaneously. It's the greatest sports. This is the greatest sports day of my life, bro. is if they beat. Oh, I know. I like the Irish. I was hoping Alabama was going to get left out, but yeah. Yeah, definitely for you always, man. Yeah, what time you want to do? 3:30. Okay, cool. We'll rock it. Send me the link. You got it, brother. All right, see you later. Joel Elconin, everybody. One of the great ones. Joel Elconin from, well, originally from Benzinga. Joel Elconin hosts the pre-market prep show with Dennis Dick. So, yeah, let's get back into this conversation about dog shit stocks. Hold on a second. Well, he's a Michigan guy, so he hates Notre Dame. See, I grew up only knowing Notre Dame. Notre Dame was my favorite love because it was the only college team on the TV. And plus that movie Rudy, when I first saw it. These are the greatest thing. This is the greatest thing these eyes have ever seen. Okay, Dad. Hello. It's me again. All right, let me try to get this thing to work. Let me see if my camera works, and let's go. It just works all the time. That's why. All right, we might get some feedback here. Hold on. Make sure my volume's off. Look at me thinking ahead. Hello! Welcome to the greatest day in sports history in my house. I mean, it was good enough without the whole JMU getting in. Having Georgia beat Alabama in the SEC championship game. It's just the best. And the way they did it, too. No doubter. All right. How are you? Good to see you, my internet friends. So, by the way, that QQQ short, it's probably over. I mean, having the market even sell off for 2 hours on a Monday in December, it's very rare. But UVXY said it's happening. But again, a lot of that went unnoticed by me because I was trading this weird pump and dump. Well, we don't know if it's a pump and dump yet, but it probably will be a dump inevitably. But the reason I'm having this conversation with you, right? You're debating on joining me. I'm tired of losing money every day. Well, join us. We make money every day, most days. My last losing day was going to be 3 weeks ago, and it was a fucker that day. And the only reason I got crushed that day, and I'm talking about thousands and thousands of dollars. I never used that kind of money intraday because my discipline is impeccable. That day I threw discipline out the window and I paid for it. Instead of selling where I normally sell, I decided to buy more, and I got hammered on every trade. And it was just 3 trades, and all 3 of them were disasters. I had rigatoni going green, loving it, added to it, rolls over, gets smoked. ASTS,
Faux show bros, I'm in. Usually I'm taking profit on the way up. Nope. I decide to buy more. Rolls over. I get smoked. Open, same shit. The short looks like it's going to work out. I got short. Breaks VWAP. Normally I would cover immediately. Didn't. I got robbed. And those 3 trades, I lost $5,000 in maybe 20 minutes. Just annihilated me. And it was just awful. The one good thing about it, if there was a good part, all the trades got worse inevitably. And then we moved on. But the reason we make money every day is that we have a discipline that is beyond discipline, right? Oh my God, that Carvana, I fucking hate that stock now. Somebody said they're going to short it today. I'm like, I can't even look at Carvana. Yeah. My best call ever that turned into just, it wasn't even that good of a call now. I mean, it was. But remember that whole thing got started, buying the stock at like under 10, selling some at 17. I remember being on the road on the way to a funeral. I was like, yeah, breaking 17. Let me sell some here. And it was 24 by the end of the day. And then they reported earnings. When that stock got to 56, I was like, mission accomplished. And then I had the $50 calls. When the only calls you could buy were the 50s. I bought them at $5. They went to $1. And they went to 25. And I was like, you know what? That's a good trade. Sold. They wound up going to $250 a contract from $1. So, sick. Sick. So anyway, now it brings us to this trade, which I'm not in anymore either, and it's lovely. But the reason I want to have this conversation is that, you know, as great as WVE has been today, when I first got into it, I said, all right, here's another one of these stocks, but it's not going to be like SMX or TGL. There's the difference. So you see the SMX trade, right? Because of all the reverse splits. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, I always speak, and thank you for bringing that up, somebody in the room, to add some definitions to when I talk. Because I do talk assuming that most people know what I'm saying. So if you don't know what a reverse split is, let me explain again. Your stock's at $10 and it goes to $1. The market, the NASDAQ, governing bodies of the market, whether New York Stock Exchange, has rules and regulations of whether the stock has to stay over a certain price, right? So when they fall behind that price, below that price, they're going to get delisted. So the way around that is you do a reverse split. It artificially brings your stock above where it needs to be. It doesn't increase in value. They take the shares out. So you got 1,000 shares at 10. Now you own 100 shares at 10. So that's the reverse split. They take shares off the market. So now there's less and less shares out there. So the stock normally keeps plummeting because it's a piece of shit, garbage. Plummeting, reverse split, plummeting. They bring it up, it gets hammered again. They bring it up, they get hammered again. They bring it up, it gets hammered again. That's when you see a split adjusted price of $5 billion. It never went to $5 billion. It's just a split adjusted price. So when you Andy Dufresne like this, right? When you Andy Dufresne, now you know what the Andy Dufresne looks like. When a stock crashes, and inevitably gets left for dead, right? So when the stock goes sideways for a longer period of time, it's Andy Dufresne, right, working its way through the muck, my friend Andy. If you don't know the reference, it's Shawshank Redemption. Andy Dufresne escaping from the prison, he went through a tunnel which led him into a sewer pipe, and he had to work his way through a mile worth of sewer and disgusting foulness that I can't even imagine came out on the other side, a free man, my friend Andy. So when the stock goes through the muck and then it comes out of the other side, it wants to run for freedom, like Andy, to say Wakaneo, to see his friend and build boats together and keep all the warden's money after he put a bullet in his head. When I see stocks like that and they start to rip, they have unlimited potential. So this $3 stock, yeah, this $3 stock, yep, $3 stock, 2 days later, 2 days ago, hit 490. Don't look at me, look at that. From $3 to 490. From 3 to 490. And if you think that's unique, yeah, you don't see that too often, but it happens a lot. So when that GameStop thing was happening, everybody was getting all excited. And then the phrase short squeeze became popular in the vernacular of traders. Some traders never heard that. If you're new to this game, you've never seen short squeeze synonymous with GameStop, short squeeze synonymous with AMC. And then that became the game. Hey, what's the next short squeeze? What's the next short squeeze? This game's been around forever. It's nothing new. That's why I was hip to it. That's why I'm hip to everything. That's why I'm the greatest trader on the internet now. Because I witnessed all this nonsense, right? I know how to play it now. So, this stuff's been around forever. So you understand why it happens now. They take the liquidity out, and then they create the buzz, right? What's the buzz? They hire marketing companies, and they hire people to start to buy the stock. Just like a penny stock scam, right? So now that stock has crashed, they buy a shit ton of it, and then they release some, whether or not it's real news or fake news, whatever the case, something to light the fuse. And the fuse is lit, right? So here's SMX. The fuse has been lit. And this was just all started very innocently for us because it was a faux show bro VWAP break. And the day before that, it was a faux show bro VWAP break. This all got started with real reasons to buy it. Right here. We were involved at $30. We didn't think it was going to go to 500 at the time, but that's what these reverse stock splits do, right? So $3 to 500, right? Inevitably, it's going to be the fun part is going to be at zero again, because once the pump is over, the inevitable dump comes, and you're seeing it being dumped right now from 490 right back to the 163, and a couple of days from now it'll be at zero. And that's why when you're playing these names, you have to sell them on the way up, because if you get trapped on the way down and they start to halt it on the downside, you're done. You're done. There will be no comebacks. Thank you. Right? So again, that's why I'm not in WVE. Inevitably, I get to a point where I have none left because I've been selling into the move, and I'm content, sort of. Probably shouldn't have sold, I sold most of it at 14. Whatever. That's what I do best. And at least I was still in around 15. So SMX. So then a day later, I see this stock TGL. Oh, shit. What's this grossness? Right? And when you see there's the reverse split, one for 70, and there was another reverse split in there also. So another one. It doesn't matter what they are. None of these companies are real. I treat every stock the same. They're all bullshit to me, right? But this is the ultimate bullshit. These are the squeezy bullshit trades that I like, because when they come out of the Andy Dufresne and they get that squeeze catalyst, woo, you get stocks that then go, and here's the 5-day on this chart. It all started with a faux show bro right here. And we're trading this thing, not thinking much. Holy shit. Oh my God. Got paid. And then it broke out without me. And then it hit 30. And I was like, if this thing breaks 30 in the aftermarket, it could go to $50. And the 50 gets you 80. And look what happened. This is the aftermarket. 30 got you 50 immediately, which was nuts. And then 50 got you 88. 88, you got to wait. My 88 pumping with a trunk of funk. You know that song, right? My 88 pumping with a trunk of funk. And then today you walk in, you're like, all right, that's been pumped. When's the dump come? The dump is here. So now you want to keep an eye on it just in case they do try to pump it again. But, we're keeping an eye on it. But there's a difference. SMX TGL different from WVE. What's the difference? Sure, this one's being accumulated and it feels like a pump and dump. Any stock that's above, up above 70 or 80% for the day is notoriously a pump and dump. But this one's not. Because I looked at the chart for 2 seconds and you look at it on a yearly chart. And even though it's gone Andy Dufresne and it's a terrible stock and just got better, it never had the reverse split. It's just coming back. And it's a legit comeback. And you probably won't see it go parabolic because it's not that type of name. That doesn't mean you couldn't get paid because the stock broke out and you just go back to these levels where it held or ripped to once before. There's the 1724. That was one of our targets. Nailed it. And then you're in this. We were looking for that price. We were looking for the bottom of that range to get hit. And the bottom of that range was 1773. Nailed it. And then you're in this candle. So now we were looking for it to get to 1998. And that's where you're at right now. But as the conservative trader that I am, I'm buying faux show bros. I'm getting in a little bit late. Saw the big size at 14. That was exciting. Big size on the offer on these momentum names are usually buyers. So even if you got in at 14, but we saw the monster resistance at 15. They started working this guy's order. They started flashing big size at 15. No way do you want to sell. You had to wait for the 15 break. But then I sold into the 15 break. And I was pretty much done. And I've been just navigating it for you guys this whole time, going back to that long-term chart. And now it's just back to old school trading. 15 got you 1750, 1750 generally again, you get you 20. And anybody that's still in from 15, you're sitting pretty because you got some wiggle room. And the wiggle room is you put stops at where they broke out from. So especially if you're in from 14 or 15, it's a lot easier for you to hold it than if you just bought it at 18. Because it still looks like it's going to want to go to say hello to his friend up there, that old high. But the only thing, again, the only difference between this is as dog shit as it was, it's a legitimate, because I think all stocks suck. It's legitimate. It's not that short squeezy, really the lower, and like I've been trying to tell you, it doesn't make sense off the top of your head. The worse the stock is, the better it did in 2025 because this has been the year of the squeeze. I've never seen this many short squeezes in 1 year in my life. And it just keeps on happening. So we'll just keep playing them if they keep showing up. And what's unique about this one, if you guys were watching, they have options. So some of the guys were buying these $15 calls and you're getting paid because there was, you see how that's the most popular contract? There are no contracts above 15. And that adds to the squeezy part of this trade because the traders who are short don't have a way to hedge themselves. That's why the Carvana trade worked out so well too. If a shorter wants to hedge, what do? They short the stock, they buy the call just in case they're wrong. Here, they got no way to hedge themselves. So they're screwed. That's why the stock is ripping. So the 14s or the 15s, which were $1.60 when this whole thing got started, pretty awesome. And also, it legitimizes the stock as well. So as much as the stock has been fantastic, and maybe you've never seen a stock go from 14 to 18 this quickly, it's not the SMX or the TGL. It's just, I got some good news and blah, blah, blah. I haven't even saw what the news is. I'm sure something about something. Yeah, improvements, data, blah, 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 blah. It's always the same story. Doesn't matter. So that's my story, and hope you guys enjoyed it. And right now, the market is doing what was called swadoosh. Swadoosh. Yeah, we came in long, sold the Qs. Some guys went short, really just traded WVE and rigatoni short. And that's my whole day. RGTI short was a wonderful short earlier. And this is really this chart is the essence of everything I do in life. Let's say you were watching rigatoni earlier. Fake them out, shake them out, back above prior day VWAP, back above the 1 minute, 100% you're buying this thing. But I wasn't involved in the long trade. And I just happened to see it rolling over, and I saw, it just did that thing called the finger of God. It just broke a new high, and now it's breaking the low of the new high candle. But I came in over here, and then it broke VWAP without me, and then it did the thing again. It broke a new high, then it rolled over, broke that low, then back below the prior VWAP. So I was like, you know what? That's a short. I'm going to put it on. Short rigatoni. If you don't know, rigatoni short. You could also buy RGTZ. Now watch this, friends. You see this chart? Now watch what I'm typing in. RGTZ. Boop. This stock goes up when rigatoni goes down. Inverse relationship. There's a lot of these stocks out there, and they're freaking fantastic because now you don't have unlimited risk when you're shorting something. You're buying a stock that goes up when the stock is going down. So we joined in on this one a little bit late. We got paid, get stopped out. Have a nice day. That's my only other trade. It was RGTZ and WWV. And here we are. There really isn't much else going on. And that is December trading. Staying focused. We don't have earnings. It's pump and dumps everywhere. I'm sure there'll be 3 new symbols tomorrow, like Twiggy, bitty, 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 hey buck, Twiggy, TWG, right? One of them today. Still in play. And Twiggy that actually just triggered as a black. So again, this one's more pump and dumpy than obviously this WWV. So let's learn together. Ready? 3-year chart. There you go. Go look at a 3-year chart. What's that look like? That's some dog shit stock right there. And then your immediate thought is good. The worse they look, and this is not bad enough, actually. You want to see even worse. This has been pretty bad for only just a year. You want to see them when they've been bad for like years. Nobody remembers them. Then they come back. But this is one of those, right? So you got a stock that can easily be looking at $48. What? Yeah. And that's why people trade these crazy ones. Because after the reverse split, the liquidity is gone. And if they start flashing some big size at 12, this thing's probably going to go a little bit higher. So let's put this one on there. Obviously, that's a reverse split. I don't even see it on here. Let me go on it. Let me see if I can find it where it was. It must have been back in the day. You could Google that shit too. Just stocks. There's a website called Stock Split History. That's 1575 right here. So the last spike was 1575. So that's your next target, right? You just broke through this noise. And if you can get, you got to get, 12's got to get, you got to get right here. It's like a $13.20. It gets over there, you probably get here, and then all hell could break loose. This is that type of stock. 9 million shares isn't that much. You want to see when they start churning that volume in. When they really get these things going, you get 20 million, 50 million, 100 million shares going. That's when the big boys are involved and they're squeezing it. Those are the best ones. But right now, you see how it's a pretty big spread for a $12 stock, but it's a pump and dump. But the more times it doesn't break 12, each time it tries, that's good. You want it to fail and fail and fail and fail, right? But if it fails and fails and fails and fails, but it doesn't go away, they're just working an order. And then when it breaks 12, just like when WVE broke 14, they're working the order 15, they're working the order 1750. A lot of what's going to happen on WVE, like I said, I think it's pretty much done. I thought maybe you could get another, almost $1.20 away from that $20 zone. But the thing is, with these names, right, you keep hitting this certain spot, it's telling you exactly what's going to happen. Resistance, 12, 12, 12, breaks 12 later, just like that TGL with 30. Yeah, you probably don't remember it, but on Friday, kept hitting, hit it one more time, and then it broke. Woo! And that was some freaking break. That was it's insane. Really, it really is insane. I mean, it's just I blinked, it was gone. Just insane. And that was a 30-point move. And then it went up another 38 points. That's why you sit here, you stalk these trades. This is the kind of shenanigans that goes on a lot at the end of the year, especially at the end of the year where everybody's been paid being a bull. This is where shenanigans go on. But shenanigans are great. I love shenanigans. Who doesn't love shenanigans? I think it was a restaurant too, right? Or was that Schlotsky's? Shenanigans? Or was that hooligans? Hooligans and Schlotsky's become shenanigans. I don't know. It's all the same shit, right? Overfried food. Gross. You guys go to Fridays? Ugh. And that's it. And then you strap in, and we just do this every day. And we just never know what we're going to find. Trading's like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And sometimes it's not. Sometimes you just chew it up and spit it right out. But the one thing is, for sure, nobody navigates the markets better than I do. Nobody. I've been around enough to know every environment. I know what every stock looks like, and I can smell stocks. I can smell it. I can smell things coming. And you just got to put your orders in and just work the orders. And what this is definitely not about is me guessing what's going to happen tomorrow. Does anybody know what's going to happen tomorrow? No. You can have a intellectual conversation about it. We're normally bullish this time of year. We're in a monster bull market. We're consolidating here at highs. Chances are we'll be up tomorrow, but who cares, right? I didn't know WVE existed until this morning, and now it's my favorite stock. And if this Twiggy breaks 12, that'll be my new favorite stock. I'm all about individual achievement awards, living every day. I live my life like there's no tomorrow. And if you don't know that song, excuse yourself in the chat room and go learn a little bit about Van Halen. Bow, 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 bow. Remember when Van Halen was the Kings of the World? Kings of the World? 1984, baby. So the one important takeaway from what's happening today is what's happening today doesn't normally happen. And that's the takeaway. So UVXY usually is not green, even green on a Monday. So when UVXY is green on a Monday, that tells you, wait a second, Nancy Pelosi must be buying puts on the S&P and selling some of her portfolio today. And we all want to be like Nancy Pelosi, right? Turning 30 grand into $600 million portfolio or some shit like that. Meanwhile, every politician's corrupt. You know that, right? But now, Nancy Pelosi and all her cohorts, well, first of all, you can trade with them nowadays. But UVXY is the most important thing you'll ever watch. Because when it does something that it doesn't normally do, that's the most important thing. And that's the biggest thing about trading. That counterintuitive moment, if you accept that and you say, all right, it doesn't make sense that we're going down on a Monday in a bull market in December, but we are. Right? Nothing anybody can do about it now. It is happening. And that's how you remain a profitable trader. You don't have to speculate. My speculation was over when I walked in. I came in long the cues because Mondays in December in a bull market tend to gap up. Boom. We gapped up. What do you do when you have a trade that's working? Sell some, right? Sold pre-market. And then I'm thinking, all right, we're going to 6:30 today. There's no way I'm selling anymore. Oh my God, they're breaking VWAP. Sold. Oh my God, they're breaking the low of the day. I sold the rest. And at that moment, I decided that I'm not going short because every time I go short the cues, they rip up in my face. So I was just happy getting out of my long. But then the market has confirmed being short 7 different times. And I just refused to take the trade because I'm just being stupid today. Normally, I'd be all over this trade because confirmation of short right there. And we had Fat Finger Freddy showing up again. If you guys still want to debate whether the market's rigged or not, come on. At 8 o'clock, we had a down tick right there. Here, you're not thinking it's going there, but then when we start getting momentum, it went to that print. And then it broke in and came back. And right there, I thought the shorting was over because I've been beaten and broken by shorting this market. And now it keeps confirming that shorting is the way to be right now, especially because UVXY still green on a Friday, Monday. Market's telling you that every move up is being met with an equal and greater move to the downside, otherwise known as a downtrend, something you generally don't see on a Monday. And this is trading. So if you address what you see every day, accept it. Don't let your ego or what you thought was going to happen get in the way, and just trade what you see. And that is how to trade, my friends. So send me an email right now, kennyglick@AOL.com. I will let you in the dungeon. And then your idea is I will feed you scraps while you're down in the dungeon as I keep you in the Iron Maiden down there with the rats and the psychos. I'll let you off the other torture device where they strap you down. Freedom! The Iron Maiden, where they throw you in that thing. It's all like the spikes and they put you in that thing. Anyway, keep you in the dungeon. Feed you some scraps. Hopefully you can make some money down in the dungeon. And then elevate yourself to the main room. And then you become one of us. You get a VWAP tattoo somewhere on your body. And then we jump you in. I guess we jump you in first. I get the tattoo first. So that's where we're at right now. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed to say I'm not sure what the cues. Because normally I'd be laughing my freaking ass off now, shorting the shit out of this stuff. I just missed that entry, and I don't want to chase. I don't want to ruin the trade for you guys. So, UVXY doesn't really trade like a normal stock. It always goes down. It always goes down. That's why it's important when it does go up, especially on a Monday, because it generally gets hammered on Mondays and Fridays due to contango. And that's my story. And that story is the same story you'll hear tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. And then you know what's going to happen on January 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, around that time? Do you know what's going to happen around those days? Do you? Does anybody know what happens the most important day of the year? Sorry, it's actually January 8th. Do you know what happens on January 8th? Well, first of all, do you know what happens on January 1st? Georgia game. So I don't know what I'm going to do because usually I'm just too hungover. I sleep all day on the first. Now I got to wake up and watch the Georgia game. They should not play football on January 1st. That's just disrespectful to everybody. What was I just saying? Oh, what's going on January 8th? Does anybody know? Why is January 8th the most important date next in history? Is it Elvis's birthday? Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, if it is Elvis's birthday, I don't even know that. I love Elvis. That's all right, mama. Heard that song. Heard this morning. Actually, last night. Been singing that one all night. Actually, huge Elvis fan. Love Vegas, by the way. No, January 8th, Thursday. January 8th, that morning. Do you know what that is? Do you know? Seriously, nobody knows. Seriously, nobody knows. No, seriously. Somebody should know. I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with Murning Meeson. What? It's earnings season. Starts with Delta Airlines, January 8th in the morning. Come on, people. Holiday begins again. So we're coasting. All right. There really isn't too much earnings reports coming out. So we'll focus our attention on some pump and dumps, a couple of QQQ trades. And right there, you just got real comfortable being short the Qs. Good luck with that. You know you guys are going to get hammered inevitably today. I would go out on a limb and say we close green. I don't know if that's going out on a limb anymore, but you know you're not going to be able to stay short all day, right? I hope you do. Listen, nothing would please me more to see the Qs back on the 600. Because that'd be a nice jump off for another pivot. I would love to see the Qs give up 22 points. I'd love to see it today. That'd be awesome. I love when the market gets slammed because it comes back either that day or the next day. But listen, one of these faux show bros is going to bro, and you're going to get the hell out of the way. So right now, you see how you broke down from 624 and a quarter? You hit 624 and a quarter. You hit 624 and a quarter. You hit 624 and a quarter. Britain, what do you think the stop is on the Qs? I'll give you one guess. It rhymes with 624 and a quarter. 624 and a quarter. Exactly. You put your stop there, and you say, if you're delusional to think you're going to make it the next 4 hours staying short the Qs in a bull market, come on. Okay. So if you are delusional enough to think the market's going to stay down, I have a quick video that I'd like to play for you. Hold on a second. And if anybody wants to buy me something nice for Hanukkah or Christmas or Arbor Day, I would take G4 Reposado. I found a new vodka. I didn't find it. My cousin, who is a sommelier and also a restaurateur, He brought me a couple of bottles of this. The last bottle he brought to me was Fortaleza, which was pretty awesome. I guess his year wasn't as good because this year he brought me this bottle. Still pretty damn good. If you guys know Fortaleza. Fortaleza. Could be Fortaleza, depending on where you live. Fortaleza, Fortaleza. For $2,000, you get one of each. So if anybody wants to buy this for me, I'll take it. This is some of the best tequila. It's way overpriced, like everything else when it becomes popular. Phenomenal. No, I forgot what the hell I was just talking about. What the hell were we just talking about? Damn. What the hell was I just going to show you? I'm so scatterbrained. What was I just going to show you? I got interrupted by vodka, by tequila. Damn it. Thank you, Clyde knew where I was going. Thank you, Clyde. Somebody's got to reel me back in. I just keep talking. Forgot the hell what I was just saying. Right. He knew where I was going. Oh, bro. Hang on a second. I can't even find it now. Hilarious. Man, can't even find it now. What's going on? Oh, there it is. If you don't know, one of my favorite videos to ever play, and she's the reason I'm a Georgia fan. She's in Georgia now, my little girl. And if you don't remember, here, I'll play it for you loud. You might get some feedback. Dad, I don't want to say that word. It's a bad word. I don't want to say that word. I had to give her like $2 to do the video. She didn't want to say a bad word. Meanwhile, she's embraced her Brooklyn. I talked to her. She's F-bombing away. I'm like, can you go back to the old person that you used to be, where you were afraid to use bad language? That's the story. Shorter is short-lived, and you're gonna die, right? But right now, there is no doubt there is something different going on. So at 12:10 on a Monday in a bull market in December, I'm still assuming there's going to be a buy on the Qs at some point today. I'm going to wait to see UVXY collapse, and then we'll probably get that turn. But what I'm going to do, and this is why I love being a shorter, I know if I was short, I'd be covering here. So I'm going to wait. So I'm going to wait to see if this double bottom gets breached again, rolls over, and we've just been going down. And each one of these levels has been algorithmic. So they call this a controlled sell-off? Yeah, because it's all rigged, right? So you got to the 3, you just got to the 4, and we're probably headed to the 5. So I gotta wait. I gotta wait to see if you get 622 on the Qs, and then if you faux show grow around there, that's when I'm probably gonna start looking for a long trade. Or maybe this is one of those unique days where we just grind down all day. That doesn't even compute to me. That we could get a grindy sell-off on a Monday in December in a bull market. You just don't see it. But right now, what else am I going to, that's the posture of this market. So my default is to assume that the shorters are going to get their ass kicked because they always do. Where's my friend out there? You know why, right? I haven't said it yet today. We can't even go. We're not allowed to go at least one day without saying it. Come on. You say it this time. I know you want to. This guy knows what I'm talking about. A G13 and the G4. Hey, are you coming to Vegas? This guy knows what's up. Bro, I got some G13 when I was in Vegas. Went outside right before we went into the club. I couldn't even go inside. I had to tell my wife, I was like, I'm a little too fucked up right now. She's like, you're an idiot. I'm like, I gotta go sit down. I had two heads. It was just me and one other guy. We smoked a whole G13 pre-roll. I was hallucinating. I couldn't get my bearings. And I'm a pothead. That was some good shit. But then I was like, oh man, I need to sit. And then once I sat down, the night was over. What club is that? Cow! Speaking of Vegas. FSB down here, too low to use VWAP. How do we find the trades? Which stock are you talking about? The Qs. Oh, the Qs, it's this level now. So right now you're in limbo. We're expecting to see that 5-day VWAP hit. I would probably, like I said, this is why I like being a shorter. Where I believe the shorters will be covering is where I'd probably take a long trade. Or if you break 622, right? So here's your 10-day. I don't think we're dropping another 11 points. So now, right under that was the low from a couple of days ago at pre-market lows, which would be kind of cool if we get there. So that's the 621.98 right there. Let me just give you a couple more candles. So 10 days on a minute, you really see the whole picture. So now you just look for areas where we pivoted from. There it is. That's the 621.98. 621.98. If you break the 5-day, you should expect to get to the 521.98. Right? So now let's go look for more levels to be worried about. $619.54. Now I'm getting excited. $619.54. And I know the exact level from underneath there. It was the 615, 617.03 area before that, I think it was, right? How did you know? Because I lived it. No, I'm a little bit off. It was 617.80. So there are some other levels to the downside that might be triggered, but let's go back to living in reality where the market doesn't go down. So those are some levels that we could hit if this market continues to go down. UVXY is telling us, the shorters are in control right now. And we're in limbo, right? So the best thing is to do nothing. If you're short, you got to stop on. If you're looking to go long, wait for the shorts to get out. And right now, there's no reason to cover. There's no reason to do anything. And if you traded WVE nicely, wonderful day. Rigatoni short, something I did. Oh, you live for Santa Claus. That's my daughter singing. Yeah, she wrote that. That was fun that day. I had to pay her to do that also. Yes, beating Alabama. That's why I'm good now. I got JMU and Georgia in the tournament. And anybody, I don't even care. Anybody but Ohio State and Alabama win, I'm good. If Georgia wins the national title, that'd be awesome. I don't think they're ever gonna play a game as good as they did on Saturday. That might have been it, which is fine by me. SEC championship over Alabama. I'm good. I'm good for life. Just saying it out loud, I feel good. Oh, I'm so ready for Georgia basketball. They got us. They are scoring. Oh, Blue Kane, Wilkinson. We got Dominique Wilkins kid as a 6-man coming off the bench. He's lighting it up. He's the 6th guy off the bench. Wilkinson's looking good. Surreal looking good. We're dunking. We're hitting threes. Oh, man, they're scoring 90-plus points a game. I got to say, Georgia basketball might be the most underrated basketball team out there right now. Getting no respect at 8-1 or 7-1. Very excited about it. Mezcal? Yeah, I'm going this Saturday. It was a restaurant called Mezcal. Yeah. By the way, this WVE trade, it's pretty much over. There's no way I would still be in it once it broke 1750. That's it for me. That's a big, massive number. And let's go look at the other pump and dump. TGL just consistently getting dumped. SMX. Ain't nobody home there. What was the other one? CETX. Hello, Frisco. Hello, Frisco. Wait a second. Wait a second. We should have been in this one already. Look at that. Faux show bro right under the 5, back above the 550, and then she rips. You got one faux show bro, 2 faux show bro, one more faux show bro, prior day VWAP, VWAP break. We might have to buy this thing even though we're chasing it 100%. Oh, you know what? I'm not going to do this. I just got done saying how I was content today. But I don't hate it right here. Except it's up, that 550 was the proper entry. So I give it a second. Let's see if it gets rejected and they pull it. Then it breaks. Then you buy it. But I ain't chasing nothing right now at 12:20 on the day where I've done my pump and dump trade for the day, but that looks pretty freaking good. When the pump comes back, when the dump, after the pump, dump, faux show, Kardashian, Andy Dufresne, everything about that, I would have been in it already if I was paying attention, especially when I tested it here. I would have been buying this double top break at 675, using that 6 and the 550. Now I'd be selling some right here for sure, but this is now a VWAP jiggle and a shuffle, right? So if you're in this name already, now you don't sell it unless it breaks back under the 740 and the pivot point right there, which is 681. Not typical to risk $1 on a $7 stock, but this ain't no typical $7 stock. It is what it is. But right now, if you are in it, don't get out unless you have to, because it's making a new decision, and that new decision could be blasting off right to the high of the day. And this thing breaks 970, you're gone. You break the high, the 930 high candle, well, that 930 range, you're gone. And don't sleep on this bad boy. A lot of times they just confound and chop you up, and then you get the TGL trade later where they break it right at 4 o'clock into the aftermarket, and that's when it goes 10x. Because that's one of the dirty-looking, disgusting charts that I'm talking about. But remember, people who bought it at 5 are now selling it to you here at 775. It's making a new decision. And if that decision is a breakout, you're looking at 2 more points. And if by some chance the stock is above, 935, you're looking at 12, then you're looking at 14, and then, holy shit, if you can get over that 14 again, and you get through the 1470, That's when you start thinking, oh my God, this thing's going back to 20. But even coming back to even have a test of VWAP is impressive enough. So let me put this one on the main screen here so you can see. If they start flashing some big signs, that's always good. CETX, CETX. But again, every trade you're thinking about doing or not doing, or just even just learning, right? Think about what the other people are doing here at this price. Right? Think about if you were in it. What if you were in from $6? What would you be doing right now? You'd be selling as it's getting rejected at VWAP. But you're not going to sell it all because you don't sell it all at one price. So the stops are here and here. The consolidation breaks down. The sellers are going to take control. This thing's going to go right back to the 6.8. Holds here. Well, there's your first test. All right, they tried to rug pull you, but the bid held. It's mildly bullish. Now we break down. Once this candle closes and it rolls, it breaks there, then you know you're going to drop another 70 or 80. But right now, that was an attempt to get you out, and it didn't do anything. So it was just a little rug pull. Now the new candle, you're inside the rug pull candle. You break back above the high, break VWAP, you're going. This candle closes, breaks below the rug pull candle, you're going lower. So you can make a decision minute to minute. And then again, if you have some shares, you don't do anything all at one price. Even if it breaks here, I would be seller. But the real danger zone is here and these last two pivot points. Yeah, let's talk about alcohol some more. Whoever's coming to Vegas, there's a lot of places I want to go that are all in the same vicinity. But one is called Ghost Park, the tequila speakeasy at the Cosmo. That's why I'm going to be spending a lot of my time at the Cosmo. Obviously, because of the barbershop, we're doing karaoke Tuesdays. But they have a really nice oyster restaurant, oyster and steakhouse at the Cosmo, and they got this place called the Ghost Bar, which is a tequila speakeasy. That's why you want a pregame, because in there they'll charge you $25, $30 for some of these tequilas, and you're basically getting like one finger for like $25. Back in my room, we could have freaking glassfuls of it for a lot cheaper. All right, here you go, people. They just tried to faux show bro ya. They just tried to faux show bro ya. We don't get faux show broed here. We let the other people get faux show broed. Look at that spike. See, when you're trading some of these stocks, you got to put your offer out. As soon as you're in, put an order out there. Somebody got printed at 850. The 89s are traded. Yeah. But yeah, if you're coming to Vegas, again, my room, I don't usually get a nice room. The last time I got a nice room, we invited people back. Suddenly I woke up, there was a Mexican family Puerto Rican family living in my foyer. Real story. I woke up and there was a family living in my damn room. I ain't making that shit up either. I can't get into why they were there. I'll tell you some other time. But now I just get a small room, and we'll go back to the room, jump around the bed, have some vodkas or tequilas, and then we'll run. Then we'll go where we need to be. But if you bought some Centex, let's go. They're gonna hold it to the outside. They're gonna hold it. Oh, there's so much buying coming in. They just flashed a hold warning. Be careful. Be careful. This might get halted, but it's getting halted on the way up. Be careful. You best be selling to get halted in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No? Oh, they didn't hold it. Weird. Sell it. You better be selling some. Wow. Usually they hold it. That was 2 warnings and no halt. Well, you should better be selling some on its way to 9 and change. And then if it breaks $9.50, oh, what price is that? Oh, the 9:30 candle. 9:15. If it breaks 9:15, you should be on your way to hitting that high. But did anybody just buy it on the faux show bro VWAP break? You see what they did? That's the game. That's the game. That stop hunter, because people had to stop there. That's the faux show bro. That's the anatomy of it. The market, the algos know where your stops are, and it goes and gets them. Then it moves without you. That's why you don't sell all of it at one price. And that's why you're sitting here stalking the trade. Ha ha, those guys just got faux showed. Now let's buy it. And you got limited risk because the fake out, shake out area is stop. And now you'll re-identify your trade. And suddenly you got a winning trade here. That's how you do it, Holmes. Wait a minute. The ghost bars are not the palms. What are you talking about, Willis? Ghost bar tequila? Oh. Wait a minute. It's called it. Maybe it's not Ghost Bar, Ghost Donkey, Ghost something or other. Ghost Donkey. Sorry. Yes, Ghost Donkey at the Cosmo. Sorry, you're right. And then, if you guys really know Vegas, there used to be this place for you older folks. We would go pregame at the Cleopatra's Barge, which was like a 40 or older kind of place. They had a band there. We'd go pregame there. Nothing like getting down with Aunt Phyllis at the Cleopatra Barge, man. People would get trashed at this place. The band was always kicking. We loved it. We'd go there before we go out. But they shut it down. If you know about Cleopatra's Barge, they shut it down. And now Cleopatra's Barge has become, I don't know the name of it off the top of my head, but at the Caesars, which is right across the street, Caesars, Speakeasy, I forgot what you call it now, Caspian's. It's back. And it looks beautiful. They redid the whole place. It's now called Caspian's. I gotta go check it out. So that's my agenda. I got tequila bars, Cosmo. We're doing some karaoke, some ghost bars, some tequilas, some more tequila, some singing, some dancing, and somewhere in there I'll do a VWAP presentation. Somewhere in there I'll talk about VWAP for about 2 hours, and that'll be the only thing we do. And then we can talk about trading all you want. But I made the magazine. If you haven't seen it yet, I'm in the magazine. And if you're in this Sentex, this will pay for your Vegas trip now. Come on, baby. Look, I got my dumb face on the screen. Look at it. Look at it. I'm all chubby there. Look, I look like Eric Carton from FDN. But I still haven't got my dates yet. All right, more importantly, who's in this train? Let's go! Woohoo! Put it off for 9:15. You should get 9:15 now. What happened? Why is it at 9:15? 9:15, I said. 9:15 going once, 9:15 going twice. Put your offer out at 9:15 in case it spikes. But now that it broke a new high, you got to raise your stop to $8. Don't let it go below 8 without selling it. But now you got to think 9:15 and then 1,000. It all starts with a faux show bro, my friends. You see how it's churning up here? It's going higher. They rug pull you. You're giving it 10%, which is huge, right? You're giving yourself 70 cents, 80 cents of risk. If you bought it, you sold some, and now you got to let it, the VWAP is 8. That's your stop. You got to wait to see if this breaks 9:15. You break 9:15, you're going to the high of the day. Is it worth 70 cents of risk to you? Should be, especially if you bought it under 8. That's why you always sell some, raise your stop, and now you can't lose. It's the same trade. Hi. Hello, Internet. My name's Kenny Glick. I've been trading for over 30 years. I take acid and smoke weed and trade all day. I'm only kidding about that part. But I also like to smoke weed, and if you are coming to Vegas, sometimes we do Hunter S. Thompson our way through the town, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Fear and Loathing? Come on. But if you are watching this video for the first time, you stumbled onto this. I, personally, this guy right here, it might not look like it, but I am the Internet's #1 trader, day trader. Because, who cares about what happens tomorrow? I want to live in the day, right? Living for the day. Can't tell you what's going to happen tomorrow. Won't even pretend because it doesn't matter. But if you want to make money intraday, there's nobody better on the planet than me and my pal Solid Jello at the Hit the Bid trading room. Everything else, again, once you hold overnight, swing trading, doesn't compute. We've got a trade. This trade continues to work. You just witnessed another one. Faux show, bro, VWAP break. Take them out, shake them out, buy the VWAP break, get paid. Can't take the money from you. You sell some, raise the stop. Now you can't lose. And that's the trade that we do every day. And if you'd like to learn more, email me, kennyglick@AOL.com. That's right, AOL.com. What is AOL? It's a good question. If you don't know, it doesn't matter to you. Just send the email. KennyGlick@AOL.com. If you do know, you're going to laugh at it. And if you don't know, it's the way the internet used to work back in the day. With dial-up and stuff. Remember those days? I'm in a magazine. I'm in a magazine for the expo. And that'll be us. That's the schmooze they do. See that picture? That'll be us too. That'll be us as well. That's my boy. His house burnt down in the freaking fires. That's Adrian Lane. No, what's his name? Adrian. Lovely family, as a matter of fact. Smartest guy. He wrote a couple of books. Nicest guy in the world. He's there every year. Sadly, his house was not in those fires, those LA fires, or those whatever those fires are. Yeah, where's the book? So if you, there's a way to get the, I don't know where it is. Full schedule. No. Oh, there's a PDF of a magazine. I don't know where it is now. Yeah, where the hell is it? Anyway, I'm in the book. I haven't got my dates. Actually, let me get my dates. They don't seem to be the most well-run organization over there. Thanks. Hey, Mike, Ken Glick here. This trip's taking on a life of its own. We might have more than 20 people coming with us. Can you give me my date and time that I'll be presenting on Tuesday so I could start planning my lunch and dinner around this trip? Tuesday, the 24th. Oh, Russell. Yeah, I got to do a new headshot. I used that headshot because it had my criminal negligent T-shirt, which I'm trying to decide what to wear. I want to look cool. I want to look nice. I think I just might wear a suit and my criminally negligent T-shirt. Whoa! All right, you should be out of that stock now. It's going to get halted on the downside. See how it goes from your favorite stock to, oh my God, I got to get the hell out of this thing? Now that's going to be halted. 3, 2, 1, halt. And now you're in deep shit sometimes if you didn't sell. That's why the good platforms that give you a 5 minute, sometimes a 10-second warning that you're going to get halted, so you can still get out in that moment. Yeah, just come to the website. I'm taking on everybody right now. I need to be impressed. So, pay attention, throw some trades around. My goal is to have at least 3 people. P. Riley, you still out there? Yeah, I'm gonna reach out to Benny and Tiffany. Yeah, I'm gonna have Tiffany and her friend probably come up and give me my fake award. As a matter of fact. Hey man, I mean to reach out to you and Tiff. Coming back to Vegas, February 23rd, 24th, 25th. I'll be doing a couple of presentations that I'd like you guys to be involved in. I'll explain when we talk. Wait a second, I just saw something terrible. I lost all my WWV games with Centex. How did you lose the money? Did you buy it? Didn't you buy it here and sold some here and then just got knocked out flat? Shouldn't be too bad. Where'd you buy it? Fat finger on JP Morgan down 1790. Ooh, what's that? Well, something broke the chart. Yeah. What the? Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah. I wouldn't think much of it until you break the lows of the day. So you bought 878. 878. Yeah. Well, it ain't over yet. You're still in it through this hole. By the way, TWG is the other one, right? It just got halted on the way up. So it's all happening on these stocks. Look, there it is. One more faux show broke for good luck, and there she went. But just like you just experienced, always be selling on the way up. Ooh, I'm at 8:30 to 9:30 on Tuesday. All right, we'll get this shit out of the way real quick. That's perfect. I'll wake up, I'll drink 8 cups of coffee, rip some shit up, take a nap, do another session, go back to sleep, and then we party for the rest of the week. All right, I hope that's my slot. That's perfect. It's my time to shine. 8:30 to 9:30. Excellent. All right, so that'll probably be the first session. I don't know which one's going to be the fun one. Wait, hold on. So you're stuck in the hole? All right. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let's go. Let's get you out of this thing. Hold on. All right. Halt candle. Don't sell it unless it breaks the halt candle, which now you put a stop at 750, whatever the hell that price was. 750, go 751. And you can break back over 8 and the VWAP, then you put an offer out. You bought 878. geez, 878. I mean, it's not out of the question. But as long as it doesn't break the whole candle, you're good right now. And if anybody decided to just buy it, I love you. That's crazy, but you're nuts. So whole candle now is what we call the hard stop. Once it gets halted, speaking of that, Twiggy came out of the halt on the way up. So everybody knows what they're doing here. Don't sell it now unless it breaks down under the 750 because that's the halt low candle. Now take a look at what Twiggy just did. Twiggy came out of the halt and immediately printed 14. So whatever this dog shit stock is, Top Wealth Growth, sounds Chinese. I'm sure it's some Chinese consulting company. I wouldn't even. I would actually bet. I bet $2 that this thing is a Chinese consulting company of some kind. But if you're in the Centex, whatever this one is, you got to hold. You held the 50. You got back above VWAP, and you got to be able to risk that. That's your risk right there. Don't break there without getting out of the rest or all of it. Because that's a halt low candle print. Big, 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 big. But right now, you're rocking. You came out of a downside halt and went up. Usually doesn't happen. But it did. That's nice. Right? And now you're recouping some of that loss. So you usually want to sell a little bit. You get it back up to that 850 area. Now it's not such a big deal. There you go. You're 38 cents away from going back to where you were now. Is it a caviar company? No, it's not. It's Chinese caviar. Top Wealth Group Holding Limited. That sounds, you couldn't have sounded more Chinese scammy than that. But man, if you dollar cost averages, I don't know why you would, but again, coming out of a halt and then breaking back over the VWAP, that's a moment. And you take that moment. If you bought more at 8, now you just dollar cost average your way out of this thing. Sell it. You can sell it all here and get out for a profit. Even if 878 was your entry. But now 802 is your out, right? So now you just got to, limit your loss because now it's above VWAP. VWAP's 802. Now that it's stayed above VWAP for a couple of minutes, you got to think you're going to be good here. So now it's 8 or nothing. Hang in there. Let's go. Let's get you out at 878, baby. And if it breaks 878, you're good because it's probably going to go to 9. So right now you got 33 cents of risk. I wouldn't let it go back below VWAP again. Right now, you're hoping it holds. Don't buy a stock that has gone from 484 to 9 and pulled back near the high. Why? Did you see what the last 30 of them did? They all went to like 500,000. It's still 30 cents of risk no matter what you do. Either it's going to break 8 and you sell it or you hold it. There isn't any other thing to do here. Whatever your analysis is, other than that, you're wrong. Either it breaks 8 and you hold. Right? So when it breaks $9.20 this time and it goes to 10, all that for 30 cents of risk. Right? So now this trade, if you want to get out risking now you're only down 20 cents on the trade. But when stocks do things that they're not supposed to do, you stay with that direction, right? Stock just got halted on the downside and broke VWAP. That's not supposed to happen, but it did. Good for you because you're long. And if you bought it on the VWAP break, the day's pay. Now you got to wait because if it breaks back over 850, you're going to go see that 908 again. and turn a loser into a winner, all for the same exact risk, 30 cents. Do you know about SMX? Do you know about all these pump and dumps for the last couple of days? Not only did they break new highs, when they broke new highs, they kept breaking new highs. One went from $3 to 500. You don't know which one it's going to be, but still, same exact risk. It's 8. And if you held through the halt, I think I went to your exact price, which is kind of weird. I know I went to 857. All right, and there goes the Twiggy. So again, these stocks are all just about momentum. Breaks 14, you go to 15. Breaks 15, it goes to 1750. More importantly, is it time to buy the Qs yet? Uh-oh. Not yet. By the way, this Centex is keeping you in the stock. You're still in it, right? Never broke 8. It's basically 8 or bust now. All right, now I'm going to buy it for you. Ready? I'm going to shove it right down the short's throats. Here we go. I want to see 878 that hit for you. You're still in it, right? Didn't break 8. Now, if they flash that 850 again and it gets gobbled up, that's going to be bullish. Why? Sounds like you sold it all at one price. By the way, there goes that green candle on the Qs that you were waiting for, right? You know you're not going to be able to stay short the Qs all day, right? There you go. All right, if you're buying the Qs, there it is. In, in. Solid just bought the calls. In. He's got them. 620. What'd you buy? Oh, he's already in. Nice. By the way, there was no reason to sell the Centex. Came out of the halt, went up. By the way, if you're in the Qs long and you got in a little bit late here, it's all right. We got to hold above that break. That's it. By the way, I'm not staying in this trade too long if I'm wrong about it. I'm using this right there. I'm using just that bottom of the range that just formed. But chances are we just got the pivot we were waiting for. Market never goes down. Are you out of your fucking minds? Did you actually think you're going to stay short the Qs all day on a Monday in a bull market in December? Madness. But I hope it follows through because I'd like to get at least the VWAP on this move. Now, if you're in 400 shares of the Qs, I don't know if you guys trade the way I trade, sell 100 right here just because you can. And you know we're getting in a little bit late. You know it's the middle of the day. We tend to chop around. Why not take $50 when you got it? And if you're still in Centex, you're still in because it still hasn't broke 8. It won't let us out. I'm surprised it's still hovering. Figured it would break one way or the other. All right. All right. Let me just make sure I don't lose money on this QQQ trade. Ow! Ow! Stop! See, as soon as I put a stop in, it goes right down. It knows what I'm doing. Stop! Freaking market knows exactly what I'm doing every freaking step of the way. Damn. Well, anyway, I just sold 100 shares at 64, 24, 26, but I'm not selling it all. Hopefully that was a little faux show bro action right there. Why are these so expensive? Sick. What the fuck is going on? Oh shit, I bought the wrong options. I bought tomorrow's options. I'm an idiot. Shh. Don't tell anybody. I just bought the wrong. Sitting there like, why are these so expensive? Oh, I'm an idiot. Anyway, I gotta sell these now. Damn it, I bought the wrong ones. Wait, did I? What the hell what am I doing here? Today's the 8th, right? Oh no, I bought the right ones. Okay, I thought I bought the wrong chain for a second. I did actually buy the wrong contracts. I should have bought the 624s. I bought the 625s instead. Ah, ah, ooh. Oh, wasn't I supposed to stop trading? What time is it? Why am I putting trades on now, dummy? Buying options in the middle of the day. Shit. All right, well, I'm in at 60. Nothing I can do about it now. 625s at 60. Came in real late. I just sold the stock, and now I'm in the 625s at 60. All right. Well, I sold the stock for a small profit, paid for these 625s. Now you're out of that Centex. Now, if you're asking why is that wrong,
Because if you're day trading, you want to go right at the money. I went slightly out of the money. So if we chop around, these will disintegrate faster than the 624s. The 624s for $1.02, it was a much better buy than the 625s at 60. First of all, you got some intrinsic value. And if you're in some chop, these are going to disintegrate rather quickly. So hopefully we get another surge to the upside. I'm putting an offer out at 75. And I ain't liking this. Anyway, sold the stock. I knew we got a little late, but hopefully we can consolidate here. It doesn't feel right. Ah, ah. This is the problem with zero date options. Do I take this little tiny small loss right now or hold on? Because if you hold on, you're wrong. It's going to be a bigger, much bigger loss. You know what? I'm going to hold on. I got to see how it pans out. If it stays above that little breakout price, I think we'll be all right. But, I paid 60. I'm down a dime. I'm not freaking out. That Twiggy $12 break was pretty nice to get involved. I think I got to go. I think they need to use the internet for some other purposes right now. I'm not sure. Just plan to leave this thing running for the next 3 weeks. Just let it run. Who cares? $6.18. We're good. All right. All right. Well, if this pivot does pivot the way it should, the next level up will be the VWAP test, hopefully. Oh, man. Oh. Oh. All right. No, we can sit now for the next 2 hours and nothing's going to happen. So it's going to happen. Hopefully it happens now.
hurts all the time. Uh-oh. All right, what am I going to do here? That's a good question. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think we're going to be all right. I just should have bought the 623s, fours. By the way, if you want to chart, watch this. You know about this trick right here? You can put the cues in the drop-down menu. Somebody was asking me about this the other day. So 624s, right? If you just move up 30 or 40 cents, these are making money. You know, they were dollar two at the time. I wound up buying the 625s at 60. It's a dumb choice. I made the wrong choice, but you know what? Right now, it's looking much better. Normally, when I go from a loss to a win, I would sell some contracts right here, but I want at least a dime on some of them. Come on. Now you see the difference. You should be in the 624s because those are going to act much better. But right now, we're about to sell some 69, 70. Sold to you! 70. What, do you think we're going to lose money on that trade? Long the cues in a bull market? Anyway, I just sold a couple of contracts at 70. It's better than selling for a loss, right? You thought that was going to be a loss, didn't you? Didn't you? But now you understand the difference? You want to go after money, especially in a choppy kind of environment we're in right now, where you're not getting that monster follow-through. So the closest to the money you are, the better, because then that little tiny move you can make something on. What? Oh, shit. Oh, man, I just hit a brick wall. Sleepy time. See, this is one of those moments where at least we sold them for 70 now, so now if we sell them for a loss, it's not so bad. All right. What was I looking for? You got to ride like the wind to be free again. You guys want to make some money? I'll sell them all at 70 next time they get there, and they'll be $4 by the end of the day. Yeah, do that, do that. I'm thinking about it. I'll sell 2 more. You know, solid Dylan was in this trade before us, right? You bought the 624s at 80. Yeah, I think right, something like that. Yeah, no. It takes a day or two to transfer. You mook. We've been here for 2 hours. You go home now. Oh, man. Actually, I haven't eaten breakfast yet. You've been here 2 hours. You go home now, fat boy. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This whole thing's changing now. Core weave. Here we go again. We actually went all day without talking about core weave. Stock's been a juggernaut for us under 75 this last couple of weeks. But on that note, I'm getting the hell out of here. I'm going to put a stop at 40 cents on these if I get stopped out. So what? I did sell some at 70, so that's good. In at 60, I know I chased. Bad price, bad contract. If I have to sell it, I will. Not going to go to zero. All right, namaste, my friends. Been a good day. And yeah, again, with these pump and dumps, remember, they generally will get dumped. So always be selling them on the way up. If they go to 500 without you, it's the very rare one that goes to the 500. Trade accordingly, and you'll never get beat. You know, you sell them on the way up, you raise the stop, and you can't lose. Let me just see Twiggy one more time. Was this one of those crazy split ones, or just an? Oh no, this looks like it had a split somewhere, right? Yeah. Yeah, there it is. That's that one. What was the other one we were trading before? WBE and no workout. Wow, that's still hanging out above 17. But not a bad sell. All right, be careful the rest of the day. Probably be a lot like we're seeing here, but hopefully, if you're all along the cues, this next leg up gets us out of these 625s or 624s, whichever you bought. Don't get chopped up, my friends. I'll see you in Vegas. Peace.